Hello there. What's going on, everybody? We're all going broke. X-Wing Wave 4 has just been announced. You're going broke, you're going broke, you're going broke, you're going broke, and you're going broke, and I'm going broke too, because, wow, this is a huge wave. Huge wave. We gotta jump right in and just talk about all of this stuff. I'm gonna be hitting the highlights, and there is still time to enter to win the giveaway. I'm giving away a Star Wars Black Series Force FX lightsaber in the form of an Amazon gift card that you can use for a lightsaber or whatever else you want, maybe even Wave 4. So, all you have to do to enter that is be a subscriber and leave a comment letting me know which of these ships you are most excited about for X-Wing Wave 4. That's all it takes, basically. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment. So looking for some discussion on what do we think is the best. If you see somebody else's comment, you know, you can reply to that one as well. Let's jump right in and hit the highlights of some of these. We can't read all of the text on all of them, so some of them we're just going to be talking about like the highlights for. So one of the things they're giving us is deluxe movement tools and a range ruler. So that's probably like hit or miss with some of you, right? What I think is cool about this is a lot of people that have acrylics have like those older acrylics that don't have the line down the center. So this is kind of a way to get some people, hey, look, here's something that has the line. If you don't like the cardboard, a lot of people don't like the cardboard. This is actually kind of cool for me because I will get these. I still use the cardboard. I never, and all the time I played X-Wing, I never went ahead and bought any of the acrylics. I said, you know what, if I win some acrylics, I'll use those because then I will have won them. But I'm not going to go out and buy acrylics. And so like my X-Wing, my original X-Wing 1.0 templates were pretty shredded, especially my one straight was really getting kind of rubbed because I had played with it so much. But I mean, having bought so many core sets and then the Force Awakens core sets, I had plenty of spare, you know, templates, so I always used those. But I'll definitely get these. I'll review these for you guys. Plus, these are, you know, engraved and etched and stuff, so you can paint these if you want to. I'm sure people will paint them. But yeah, this is just going to be a nice little option to buy. And of course, if you don't want this, you don't have to buy this. So you can go a little bit less broke. But everything else is going to make you go broke for sure. We're getting the N1 Starfighter, so this is going to be a big hit to a lot of you guys. This was one of the ones that I had predicted. I think that a lot of the newer stuff for the newer factions is going to be obvious predictions. Because there were certain things that are just, you know, especially Clone Wars stuff, there's certain things everybody wants to see. This was definitely one of those that everybody wanted to see. And it also kind of makes you wonder if they're going to also take this same model and bring it over to the Rebels at some point for like Leia to use, because she did fly an N1 in the comics. However, if you look on the base, you're going to see an Initiative 4 Anakin Skywalker. That's little Annie. By the way, that's little Annie with Initiative 4. That's not like Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker. That's little Annie. So, you know, and you know what? We can tell from looking at the card here that it looks like they're 2-2-3-2. Focus, target lock, barrel roll, and boost. Barrel roll, so they can do spinning. That's a neat trick. All right. So anyways, we get a bunch of pilots here. We're getting some versatility. You're not just stuck with 4. You're looking at 6 pilot cards. And you get a new condition, some upgrades, but yeah, the N1, and you can get a look at the dial there. It looks very fast. It can go 5 straight. It looks like it's got 3 Signor's loops. It looks like, or Talon rolls. But yeah, so it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a fast little ship for the Republic, not for the Naboo army. They're not their own faction, right? Which means if we're getting stuff from Naboo, will we eventually see Gungans in space? All right, I'm gonna keep going. We got a lot to talk about. We don't have time to keep talking about the N1, and we will talk more about these in the future. We're getting the Hyena Bomber. We're getting the Hyena Bomber, and this again is another one that was an obvious prediction. We've got them in Battlefront 2. It makes sense. You needed a bomber. They're fitting it there. We've got a unique bomber here at Initiative 4, and yes, we're getting a couple of cards. We get a new token there, which looks like a big old slow moving kind of bomb, I'm guessing. So that one's kind of cool. We have our stats are looking like 225, no shields, so about what you'd expect for a bomber. A little bit, probably be a little cheaper than a TIE bomber, you know. So that's about that. Yeah, I mean, but other than that, not a whole lot to talk about with this one. We're getting a couple more of the droid effect where we get those limited pilots. You can only have 2 or 3 of them in a build. A lot of new bombs, a lot of new upgrades there. Well, not necessarily new bombs, rather, but at least one new bomb, it looks like. And, you know, a couple of missiles, torpedoes. So they're going to be able to take all of that. Again, here's one of those times where it's nice to see the expansion because, like, while you can't see what they cost and exactly what upgrades they can take, you can tell that they're going to be able to take system, torpedo, missile, and device, right? And well, that might be actually, I think that's a bomblet generator. That's exactly what that is, isn't it? And then the new upgrade as well. So, kind of cool. Oh, the resistance transport. Now this one, a lot of people did not expect coming. I have been calling this one for a while, although I expected this to come out a long time ago. Resistance transport is coming out. I'm very pleased because we don't have that many resistance ships, and this was in episode 7. It was basically like a redesign of the old school BWing, and is the one Leia comes out of in episode 7. The other cool thing about this is that head on it is the exact same shuttle pod that Finn and Rose use in The Last Jedi. No Last Jedi hate here. We're not going to talk about what we think of Last Jedi. There's other places for that. But this is, you know, so this was actually seen in both movies, just different parts of it. So that's kind of cool. Now, and the cool thing is when we look at the spread, you're going to notice there's 2 maneuver dials there. This is a 2-in-1 pack, so really good value here. And this kind of helps make up for the fact that that resistance conversion kit didn't really offer you very much. You know, you only got 3 ships out of it. So now there's a little more value if you decide to play Resistance. You can get a little more bang from your buck in one way or another. Now they talk about it's going to be transport mode or the shuttle pod mode. And people are wondering, well, the model doesn't appear to rotate. What I think is going to happen is I think that shuttle pod's going to detach and go on its own peg, just like the Lando's Falcon. That's how it seems like it's going to go. Let me know if you agree, if that's what you think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to give you 2 separate models. I think the shuttle pod is probably going to come out on like a little slider peg, you know, and then go, and it'll probably have its own peg underneath, or you can attach it back in. So I expect this model to actually have 2 pegs underneath, one in the center of the transport mode and one in the center of the just the cockpit. So that's what it looks like. So that's kind of cool. And I'm just glad. And also the Resistance needed some type of crew platform. It looks like we're going to get a General Leia in there as well. So that's, you know, good stuff for the Resistance. This is just filling out that faction. This isn't a super glamorous ship, but I'm excited to have it because it's a ship we've seen on screen back in episode 7. So happy to see it. And I like that they're doing a 2-for-1. I like that they will occasionally give you something that's actually a really good value because this game can drain our wallets pretty quickly. We're getting a reprint of the Millennium Falcon. It doesn't look like we're getting anything new here for the Falcon. It's just, what's cool about this though is it'll make that hyperspace, right? And I still need to do a video just kind of talking about hyperspace. So let me know if you want to see a video about hyperspace and just kind of talking about what that means. And kind of, I think it's good because there are a lot of you probably already are very familiar with hyperspace, but there's probably some younger players or newer players getting into the game that aren't that well versed on it. BWing, speaking of hyperspace, BWings will now be hyperspace legal. And oh my gosh, this is the highlight for me. I'm not even playing Rebellion very much anymore. I'm probably going to be Republic primarily. But I'm going to buy a whole lot of these. First off, we're getting a repaint. We're getting a slightly different paint job. We're getting a little bit of blue on the BWing. That's cool. That's cool. It rotates. I predicted that we were going to make it rotate. I predicted there was a chance they might make the S-foils move, but I did not actually believe that. And they are making the S-foils move, and it rotates, and the cockpit rotates also. So it's going to rotate around the base. They went so far above and beyond with this BWing. I am blown away. FFG. I was beginning to get frustrated with X-Wing, with some of the rules discrepancies and some of the errors in bringing out 2.0. This right here, you have won me back. You have won me back hardcore. This is like equivalent of you making some lightsaber nunchucks and engraving Crabbok on them and saying, oh yes, our new hero for this new game uses lightsaber nunchucks and his name is Crabbok. Like, no, that would actually be a little bit cooler. But making the BWing this awesome, I love you guys. I love you, FFG. Now, we're not getting anything new, but we are just getting the greatest ship in all of Star Wars right here. making it better than any ship has ever been before as a model. Like, even if you don't play X-Wing, get one of these, or 5 of these. Better pre-order them, though, because I'm going to buy a lot, and they're all going to be sold out. I'm replacing my entire BWing collection with these. My goodness, this is just, I'm so happy. I'm probably more happy than I should be about this, because it's just a little plastic toy, right? No, it's more than that. This is dreams. This is hopes and dreams. All right, we've also got the Decimator, and we're getting a reprint of this. Now, this is going to sound really funny, but one of the things I'm kind of excited about the Decimator is I hope that peg actually fits in there, snug. The #1 problem with all Decimators is they just didn't fit in the base. Like, they were just loose. Like, they were printed just to be a fraction of a millimeter loose. And the only way I used to find to make my Decimators fit properly was to put a piece of tape in there, like something really thin, and then stick the peg in, and the tape would then get lodged up into the peg, and some of the sticky stuff would get kind of, would basically make it a little more snug. But yeah, it looks like we're just getting the same old Decimator, but this will also make it hyperspace legal as well. Good counterpoint to the Millennium Falcon showing up for the Rebels. That's kind of what this was always kind of intended to be, to give the Empire their big ship, right? So that's kind of cool. We're getting the silencer, and it looks virtually the same as the silencer we already have. I'm curious if this will be a slight reprint, though, if they're going to like maybe reprint it in a little bit more of a gray with a black wash as opposed to just being like all black. It's hard to tell from this image because this is probably just the 3D rendering and not the actual production model. And we've seen sometimes before the 3D renderings kind of enhance shade a little bit more than you would actually see on the physical model. So I'm curious about that. But again, here it doesn't look like we're really getting anything new. All the pilots and everything are stuff straight from the conversion kit. But for those of you who don't have, here you go. And same thing with the Special Forces tie. And this is good that they're doing this for the First Order, because there wasn't really, like, if you're a new player coming into the First Order, all you really had was the tie. You couldn't get the other stuff. So, they're just bringing more, they're bringing everything back into the fold here, which is great. So again, I don't think we're getting anything new here. It's just more of the same. And plus, you're getting some extra upgrade cards too. So if there was something you didn't only had one of or whatever, you can get some more upgrades. And that's it, guys. A lot of cool stuff in here. What are you most excited about? Definitely, for me, it's the BWing. But trying to figure out what I'm second most excited about is kind of tough, because it probably the N1. Probably the N1. Not my favorite ship, but probably my favorite faction coming forward. Although I really do like that Resistance transport. I will be definitely getting at least one of everything to review for you guys when they do come out. Plus, I'm a completionist, so I got to have at least one of everything anyway. But definitely make sure you're subscribed, so you can also click that bell for alerts so you get notified as new information comes out. I will keep you up to speed. I will stay on top of this. As soon as new information comes out, I will post it. Also, let me know if you want to see a hyperspace video as well. All right, guys, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and big thanks to my patrons on Patreon. You guys definitely help make this possible, so I want to thank you guys for your continued support. You're fantastic. I want to thank you all so much for watching, and have a great day.